Hey everybody, I'm Josh Bess, and I'm here today with 343 Labs to talk about swing and groove. And I'll be talking about some things from my book, Ableton Grooves. This is what we're talking about right here. There's a whole chapter on it. We're going to talk about what swing is, what groove is, and how you can add it to your music to make your music feel a little better. So this is the main thing that we're going to be talking about today. When people hear music, they hear it in straight time. So something like this. This hi-hat right now is playing straight eighth notes. And over here, I have this other hi-hat, which is playing triplet hi-hats. And a lot of people hear this straight hi-hat, and then they hear this triplet hi-hat. And when they hear the triplet, they think, oh, this is swinging. This is a swing hi-hat pattern. Although, that's not really true. The real swing is somewhere in between the straight and the triplet. It's really this place that feels good, this place that feels natural. So the main thing here is finding a sweet spot in between the straight feel and the triplet feel, and that's essentially what our swing is. So that's what I'm going to show in this video right now. So right now I have this new session open in Ableton Live Suite 10, and right now all I have is this piano part. And just so you know, you can download this project for free as well. Head down to the description of this video and you'll be able to download it and follow along with this lesson as well. Now, with this piano part, I'll set my metronome, and this metronome is playing quarter notes. So when I play this back, you can hear I have 4 bars right now of this piano part. And what I'm going to do is add a drum groove to this. I'm going to go into my packs. I'm going to go into my chord library. And within that, I have drums, and I could drag in a drum rack. I'm going to drag in the session dry kit. I'm going to call this drums. And this is what we're going to do. I'm going to create a MIDI clip, and I'm going to go to my hi-hat. I'm going to go to eighth notes, and what I'm going to do is change this from 100 to 010, 010, which means it's only 1 quarter note beat. So if I crop this, I have my hi-hat. So I could draw in 2 eighth note hi-hats. And when I play this back, it'll sound like this. So that's a straight hi-hat groove. Now I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to call this triplet. And when I change this to a triplet grid, you can see that this fits 3 eighth note triplets within this 1 beat over here. So if I play this back now, and if I delete this second one over here, I get this feel. So I essentially have a straight groove and a triplet groove. So what I can do here, just to replace the sound of this metronome, I'm going to change this to a kick drum. So what I'm going to do is go into a quarter note and add a single kick drum for both of these. So it'll be like having a, like a 4 on the floor groove. So now I have this straight. Just sounds a little better than having the metronome. All right, so now we can take this to the next level. We can start adding one more clip over here. I'm gonna call this swing. So this swing clip, what I'm gonna do is keep this on a triplet. And instead of it being an 8th note triplet, I'm gonna turn this to a 16th note triplet. And this is really interesting. What I could do is take this hi-hat, and when I move it over to the left, it's going to be a straight hi-hat pattern. When I move it over to the right, it's going to have that triplet feel. And this is where the whole idea of swing and groove comes into play. This whole area in between that straight and triplet feel is where the whole swing area is. So for example, if I bring this all the way to the left, it's going to be straight. And you're going to see as I drag it slowly to the right, it's going to start shifting to a triplet type of feel. And as I drag it to the left, it's going to get more of a straight feel. So what this allows me to do is take this note, and I could really drag it anywhere in between this, and I could choose what type of swing do I want. Do I want it to have more of a straight type of swing, or do I want it to have more of a triplet type of swing? And that's essentially what our swing is. It's saying, I don't want this to be straight, you know, a straight 16th note or a straight 8th note groove. I don't want this to be a straight triplet kind of groove. I want this to feel nice and natural, and I want it to feel somewhere in between this. So what I could do is move this around and just base it on my ear. So right here, this is a swing and has a very triplet kind of feel. And this has a swing to it too, but it has more of a straight feel. And it's up to us, it's up to you to decide how you want to use this in your own music. Right now I'm going to keep this more of a straight type of feel. And what I could do is even duplicate this loop. And maybe on the second one over here, I could bring it a little closer. So this one over here, the second note over here has like a straight with kind of a triplet feel, where this fourth note over here has more of a straight feel to it. I could duplicate it again. And from here, I could even start adding in more notes. For example, I want to add in a side stick. Say I want to add in some ride cymbals. I could throw this up here. And the great thing about doing this is when you want to start adding other instruments into this, like other percussion, other ride cymbals, any other type of auxiliary percussion, you could follow the same exact groove, the same exact swing type of feel you had with the other notes by simply dragging it up. And it follows the same exact placement. So for example, I have these three notes, and I know the second note over here lines up exactly with the feel and the groove of this note over here. So I can simply duplicate this over. Where this one over here had a different groove, so I could pull this one up over here. And there we go. And from there, adjust some velocities. The velocity will make a big difference with this because it'll really allow us to have more dynamics with each of these hits. So now we have swing, groove, and feel, but we also have some changes with velocity as well. And all I'm doing is simply holding the command key, clicking on a note, dragging up and down to change the velocity. So right now, I'm really focusing on keeping the groove of this whole thing in motion. And one way to do that is to emphasize the downbeats. So for example, with this kick drum, I'm making these a slightly higher velocity than the other ride hits. And this kind of keeps this quarter note pulse while keeping the swing and feel with the hi-hats as well. So it's really hitting down on that 4 on the floor kind of beat. What I could do is offset the hi-hats a bit though from this. So I could bring down the velocity on the first and third. Basically every quarter note, I'll bring down the hi-hats. So I have this offbeat hi-hat kind of pattern. All right, and that feels really good. It feels a lot better than it did before. Let's take a quick listen to what it would sound like if all of this was linked up. So I'm going to quantize this to the 16th note, and it sounds like this. I'm going to undo that, go back to the swing. And it's really as simple as that. You know, you have your straight groove and you have your triplet groove. All you really need to do is find a balance in between that and see what works for you and works for your own music. And to take this one next level further, it's really adding any sounds that you want to this. So you can go in to your drums. For example, use hot swap. I could pick a new drum kit. For example, this one. And I'll change up the sounds of this kit while keeping the same exact pattern. I could go in there and add my own sounds as well. For example, I have a few of these samples. Again, these will be for download as well, so you can use them to follow along with this lesson. For example, I have this clap. I could simply replace this clap with this snare. I have this glass sample, this little tap of a glass. I'm going to change that with this ride filter that I see over here. Could adjust the kick drum a bit as well if I want. Here, look, I'm just going to solo that glass for a second. This is what the glass sounds like. This is essentially our ride cymbal with the swing. And this is it quantized to the 16th note grid. This is it again. And you could keep going as far as you want with these notes. For example, I could take this, just throw it onto a kick drum. You could duplicate it as many times as you'd like, and you have a full groove that has swing and groove and natural feel to it. So yeah, I hope you can use these ideas for your own music. You can really use this for any style of music you're creating. You could add this simply to add some new swing, some groove, and new feel to your music. Again, I'm Josh Bess. I'm here with 343 Labs. If you want to learn more, we have classes in person and online. See you there.